Turf Nerds Nation, what's going on? Evan here. Got some exciting things.
Really?
First thing is first. We have free stickers.
Oh, wow.
I've talked about this, and I've sent out a couple. But if you want a free Turf Nerd sticker, just send an email to turfnerdspodcast@proton.me. We also have merch. Link will be in the podcast description. You can get a shirt and a hat shipped to you for $50. We don't make any money off that. We're just trying to get back to you guys.
Thank you very much.
And if you guys don't know about Green Frog Web Design, Ezra McCarthy, sign up. We will keep beating this drum. He's an awesome guy. First month is only $1. And if you don't sign up, Greg's already stolen a couple Christmas trees. If you don't sign up, Greg is going to come. Well, first he'll come scalp your lawn. Then he's going to steal your Christmas tree.
Hello, this is Greg.
Hey, it's Aaron with the Mowing in the Dark Lawn Care Podcast.
Hey, this is Tony's Lawn Care Talk.
Hey guys, Cameron here with the Lawn Care Life in Missouri.
Hey guys, this is Dan White with Lawn Care Unscripted.
What up guys, it's Phil with Phil's Lawn Care.
And you're listening to the Turf Nerds.
Greg, man, it's been a roller coaster of weird weather the past 2 weeks. It's really slowed down my cleanups, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. It slowed mine down too. Fortunately, I was able to finish, but no, we've had everything but hail, I think.
We basically have. I know Aaron Sutter up there with the Mowing in the Dark podcast. They had thunder snow, which we didn't have that, but past 2 weeks he was saying like they got about an inch of snow a couple days ago, and it was thundering and lightning and snowing, which we've got that here, but it's not been very common. But past 2 weeks, I think, Greg, you're just about done with your cleanups. You're just kind of doing some other side jobs right now. But I think I have 10 or less. I was texting some other guys, or not guys, clients this past week, and I sent out an email basically saying, hey, I'm going to just follow the schedule as last year. If you don't want me to do it, let me know. And then they do it and then don't tell me. Anyway, so we've had snow come through. So I've been out salting with my buddies. I had 2 different shifts. One was the day after Thanksgiving. That was a nightmare, Greg. That was from 2 to 7 a.m. And then we had one a couple days ago from 3:45 a.m. to 11. And Greg, I'm not old, but those shifts with salting really take a toll on me.
No, I would not want to be doing that. I had you had actually referred somebody to me a couple years ago, and I spoke with the guy. And I said, no, I don't have any plow experience, but I could do salting. And he starts telling me all these guidelines, doesn't matter if we call you, you're here. And I just said, no, I don't think so. I've gotten to the point where I get tired of getting pushed around. So I said no.
Yeah, that's the sad truth with the salt, because they have all these slip and fall. I guess there's a slip and fall, and then you're sued. I mean, you're basically shut down, aren't you?
Yeah, those guys. I know somebody that he was bidding on a job for someone commercial, and I forget what it's called. Zero tolerance, I think they call it. And he asked them, "What's your tolerance?" And they're going, "What?" They had no idea what he was talking about. And he said, no, you have to have a certain point where you need me to come out. And, if it's a half inch or an inch or whatever. And I guess he got nowhere with them because they thought he was just trying to hustle them for money.
Yeah, people don't understand that, but it's at zero. I'm glad that you said that. It's at zero tolerance policy. So I plow snow with my buddies. So guys, to kind of catch you up to speed, I bought a 2-stage Toro snowblower a couple of years ago. It's doing 15 driveways. A nice snowblower, Greg. I mean, you've seen it, but the drawback to that, guys, I sold it last year for $800. I bought it for $1,100, so I really was not that much money. It worked well, but it was just slow, and then the scraper would just get beat up because all these driveways are so uneven. And my buddies, they really needed help with their driveways. They said, hey, why don't we help you with your driveways, and then you can come help us? And they pay me, so for about an hour or two, I get double paid, which is nice. But I work with them with snow. Aaron Sutter talked about this. I think he used to plow with a Ram 1500, but if you're going to really get into the plow game, which we will have a company on soon, we're working out these details for you snow and ice management guys, because I'm in it. I just don't offer it, full time with my business, but I do it with my buddies if you're going to get into that, you really need to plow with a 2500 truck. Greg, I mean, you have the overkill truck, so you could do it, but it's just plowing beats on your transmission, especially on smaller size trucks. I mean, looking back at it, I should have got a Ram 2500, what Aaron has, but I'm going to drive my Ram 1500 until it blows up. It's only got 38,000 miles on it, so I could get another 200,000 miles on it. And then what I might do is I would probably not even buy a new Ram. I'll just probably buy a really nicely used 2500 Ram that has all the bells and whistles. But yeah, so anyways, I sold my 2-stage blower. Now my buddies help me with my 15 driveways that I have, and I help them salt and plow and zero tolerance. We got a senior living home and other medical building complexes, and you got to just salt the crap out of it, because if you don't, someone could slip and fall, and that won't be good. But there's a lot of good money in it. And then you were out once with us a couple years ago, Greg, and you actually did really well, but that was just not that wasn't your thing, right?
Well, I was actually fine with it. It was just 2 weeks later, I wasn't doing too well.
No. Yep. I remember that.
No. But I was okay with it. It was just we had the issues with the blowers that they were using. And
tell them about that.
They were, I just don't think they were using the right mix, or I don't even know if they were using a mix on it. And they just were not working. The funny part is when I saw those blowers, I thought, oh, these are great. I have one of these. And they just did not work well. And I don't know what it was, but I remember commenting to you numerous times saying, this isn't the way these are supposed to run. So
no. So what happened was they had they had these nice Toro Power Clear blowers. Hey, shout out my dad and I. We went half season on a Toro Power Clear. It's their smallest commercial line. It's the RC. It was $800. So we just kind of decided to finance it because it was like 0 down, 6 month. Same as cash. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, we'll pay that off. So, but their blowers, Greg, they had a whole bunch of nice commercial grade snow blowers, but they didn't do the maintenance on them. What happened is, I guess, shout out to Weingart, so my sales rep Ted, he was telling me this, which I didn't really think about it. If you don't really take proper care of the scraper on your blower and you hit stuff, like you can get like water and stuff inside the auger housing, and it kind of causes problems with it. And all of theirs squeaked when we used them. Remember that? It was they're all squeaking like mice.
If they worked.
They're better yet. Greg hit the nail on the head with that.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have loved to hear them squeak. because then I would have known they were working actually. So, but they were they were kind of tough. But I remember I bought mine at a place that when I was working in another job, and it was a slow season, so they gave me a really good deal on it. And I remember seeing the ones that we had that we were going to be working with, and I thought, oh, these are great. I love mine because I can do my driveway in 20 minutes. And I have a decent sized driveway, and I can blow it off in 20 minutes. And I could do faster if there weren't any cars in the driveway. So that's
the thing, right?
yeah. But if I was able to do that, then that'd be great. So, but no, I thought about trying to look at the snow business, and I just thought, no, I don't want to deal with this, because if I want to go somewhere, then somebody's calling me. I had a buddy of mine that asked me, because he was starting his business out, and he says, hey, why don't you come and plow for me? And I said, you know what? I got to be honest with you. You're going to call me sometime when I'm out of town, and you're going to get mad at me, so let's just not get mad at me. No, I'm not going to come.
That's the thing. My buddies have been pretty good about that. A couple times I was in Florida or out of town when they called. This is a couple years ago. Last year we only have 2 events, but that's the one drawback to really getting into the snow game is you're on call. You really want to pray for a really light season and get a whole bunch of people to prepay, and then that's where you make your money. I'm the type of, hey, you prepay and we got one event. Sorry, that's how it works. It all kind of averages out, because then that's the. Oh, sorry, my phone's ringing. Hold on, it's my dad. I should not answer that here right now. Anyways, so I kind of lost my train of thought. I was going well. Anyways, also, yeah, so prepaying. So say you offer full service all throughout the entire year, and you have a lot of clients who prepay. Well, look at in the spring, Greg, when we triple and quadruple cut. You're not going to, depending on the job. We've seen it on Facebook though. Some guys charge, a couple, 15, 20% more per cuts, but I've never charged to double cut someone's lawn in the spring, unless it was ridiculous. But you can make your money back. Say you have that client, long lawn, they prepay. There you go for snow. That's where you make your money back. But I've been considering, though, because I have the dump insert, and salting, ice management is really getting kind of to be the popular thing here right now, because we're not getting that much snow. I almost thought about going into the salt business, though, too, and getting a salter and do it. And Boss had a Boss VBX salter. It was like 1.5 yards, a 6-foot salter. I think they're around $7,000, which, ooh, I'm sitting here right now, guys. It's a good episode that we're talking about, or we titled this episode, "I don't know why he's calling me again." I don't know why. This is really funny. Oh, man, maybe I put it in a bad spot. I went over there and I did one cleanup today, and I scalped my dad's yard, and I put the snowblower in his garage. Maybe he's calling me to, I think he wanted me to take his other snowblower. So how it's working, guys, is we're both going to be using it, and we don't get snow anyway, so it doesn't matter. But anyways, so yeah, the title of this episode is "Your Lawn Care Business Does Not Stop in the Winter." Anyways, so I kind of wanted to get a salter and go into the salt biz myself, but that's just money that I just don't have right now. And guys, Greg, I've seen guys on Facebook, and you made the good point the other day. People can budget for the winter where they don't have to work. I've never been one to do that, because I've always been paying things off.
I tell you what, $7,000 for a salter to trash your vehicle as well. Because that salt's going to do some damage to your truck. You've got a really nice truck. I don't know that I would want to be doing any salting jobs. And so that's something you got to be careful of. I know a couple of guys that have done it, and they've actually been hired out by somebody else, and they're talking about doing salt. And I said, man, that's going to beat your truck up really bad. So I wouldn't be necessarily inclined to do it, but I'm also not doing any snow stuff either. So it's kind of up to you. I wouldn't want to spend that kind of money and then beat my truck up as well. But I understand there's really good money in it for plowing.
Yeah, it's kind of a catch-22, and you're right with that. I've seen salt guys at least destroy. Well, it's destroyed my shoes. I've gone through a couple different pair of boots in the past couple of years, and my guys will use your traditional rock salt, calcium chloride, treated salt for sidewalks. And what the thing is now, what guys do, because you put the salter in the back of your truck, sure, but you got to wash it out all the time and nonstop after an event. If you don't, it'll just rust the living life out of your truck. Exhibit A, my buddies, they have a multi-force, and we did a couple of storms 2 years ago, and they didn't really power wash their multi-force after they were done using it, and it looks like their multi-force has 10,000 hours on it, and mine has like 500 hours on it. There's a big difference when you don't power wash your equipment after winter events. But what some guys were doing for it, when they would put the salter in the back of their truck, they would take like a rubber mat to kind of cover the tailgate area, so when the salt would go out, it wouldn't just get all up in their tailgate. My truck, I don't know if your cars do, Greg. My truck has some salt on it, and I didn't even use it for salt. Like the tailgate is full of, like, I guess, just salt from driving on the road.
Oh, yeah. I noticed when we went out to do that show for the Christmas tree show, I drove my big truck out over there, and then came back, parked it, and next day when things dried up, I'm looking at my truck, and there was just salt all over it. I'm going, man, this truck's not supposed to. Yeah. And Miles actually was home, and he came in the door and said, "You need to wash your truck. You got salt all over it." So... But you know what happened to my truck? I was going to go out and take it to the car wash and spray it off, and it wouldn't start. That's when we had that really cold weather, like a day or two after. Yeah, really? The day or two after, it was just so cold it wouldn't start. It was when we were down to 5 degrees with the wind chill and all that.
Oh, it's terrible.
And so my backstory on this is I went to start it, wouldn't start. All right, I'll have to get to this later. And I went back out today, and I was, because I called AAA, I found out that they'll replace a battery for you, because I'm not allowed to lift anything. Batteries can be 30 to 50 pounds. And so I called AAA, and the guy says, he's asking me what kind of battery I have, so I had to go out and double check it. He wanted to find out certain information on it, and so I go out, pop the hood, and I'm looking at it and
Oh, no.
walking around and doing some stuff, and I happen to come back out, and I look at I still had the hood up because I was going to do something, and all of a sudden I noticed that it's got one of those, it's got the hood light inside, the light's on.
Oh, boy.
And I thought, so I grabbed my keys.
You said, really?
Yeah, and started it up, and it started right up for me. So it was just, I think I do need a new battery on it because I've noticed even in the summer it was kind of having a hard time turning over. And so I think I just need a new battery on it. I'm not sure. I'm going to take it up and have it tested. And but I called AAA. Here's the other thing, though, is I called AAA because I thought, okay, well, I'll just have them come out and do it. And I'm talking to the guy on the phone, and he says, nope, we don't have that battery. And apparently my batteries, it needs like 800
It's like a
cold
special
cranking
battery,
amps.
isn't it?
Yeah, he said that's not a battery we carry. So I'm going to have to take it up somewhere and see if I can get somebody to replace it for me. So, but
car batteries aren't cheap.
no, the one actually that I need is probably going to be a couple $100. So if I want to get a good battery, and but the AAA guy actually told me that because I asked him, I said, look, I don't want a Walmart battery because they come out with their batteries. He says, no, we just have AAA batteries, and but he said, no, we don't do the Walmart. Oh, and then I said, well, I'd like something like a DieHard or an Optima or even the Napa. I guess Napa has really good batteries supposedly too. Somebody had told me that. And he says, there's like 3 battery manufacturers out there.
They're not cheap either.
No. It was going to be, for the less expensive one, it was, in my case, it was going to be about $180, spend $40 more, and I get a better battery.
Not that bad.
No, but now I'm looking at about $220. So I just got to see if I can get a place that would replace it for me, put it in for me. It's actually, mine's going to be really easy. I was surprised when I
was do it yourself, right?
Well, I could do it myself, but I can't lift anything. So
That's right. If you guys listen, Greg has a condition where he can't lift over a certain amount of pounds per right now.
Yeah, well, it's not a condition. It's just I'm having some procedures done
They're
on my
prestigious.
legs.
That's what I meant. Correct me. I am not a doctor.
I'm just they're not letting me lift anything right now, and with that battery in its position, and those batteries are 30 to 40, 50 pounds depending, and so I can't lift it. Plus, it's in an awkward position, so it would be even more difficult when I can't really lift it properly. However, I noticed when I was looking at it, I just kind of put my hand on. It's got that little pull handle on it, that plastic thing. And you could lift it, and I just fooled around with it. That thing's just sitting in there. It's not anchored down on anything.
Oh, that's funny. You should ask the guy who you bought it from if there's any issues with the battery, eh?
Oh, I can't. I
it's been a
can't
while
get
now.
a hold of that guy. So,
No.
and I've had it I've had it almost a year now. So, I'm not going to worry about it. I'll just take it up, get it tested, and if it doesn't test, then I'll replace it because it's had a hard time starting for a long time. So, it's just it's a big motor. So, decent sized motor in it.
Greg has the dually, guys, that Silverado 3500 dually. So, guys, I know a couple of you guys probably take the winters off or slow down, and that's what I'm going to be doing. Hopefully, Greg and I will try to get away a couple times. We try to get away for about a week or so. I do, towards the end of February, early March, when snow is more predictable, as in it's not coming. But the lawn care biz doesn't stop during the winter. Cameron Duncan out there with the Lawn Care Life in Missouri podcast, he's just going hard right now. This is the time to really make money. I always joke around and say I want to do cleanups through the end of February and then just have February be my snow mode and month. But that's not how it really works because I hate snow. But what do you do to make some extra, side cash and money when you can't do leaves and you can't, and plowing and salting is done. And we've talked about this on years past and episodes like that. Now my wife's calling me. Man, this is like 3 different calls during the show. Well, she'll just walk into a live show. I Went out and I DoorDashed for a couple hours the other day, 2 hours, like 1 hour and 55 minutes. I made $42. That's what I've kind of done for some side cash during the winter, but I'm hoping to work for my buddy's tree business. He's a solid Christian guy. He's got a tree business about half an hour east of me, hoping to kind of just do some labor doing that, get into that. And you and I were talking, Greg, I could almost kind of do, I'm debating a quasi junk removal and business with my dump insert in my trailer, couldn't I? I mean, we've been kicking around some ideas just to stay kind of part-time busy during the winter.
Yeah, the opportunities out there that you can do are plenty. And in your case, you've got the dump insert. You could put stuff in there. You're going to be somewhat limited because you can't put, I suppose you could put a refrigerator in there, but that's going to be a little bit tough. But you could put some stuff in there, but just got to make sure that you can cover it up. If you can find, you got to get a dump. Go to find a place that's a dump place that you need to get licensed or you need to get approved there, which will drastically reduce your costs. I know somebody
like a commercial thing.
Yeah, you can get commercial discount. I know somebody that told me that if he had dumped a guy that I know that does junk, he said if he would have dumped it, some of the stuff that he had as just a retail, it would have cost like $700. But because he's got
Holy
his
smokes.
discount, it was going to be expensive. It was big. It was a lot of stuff, pretty heavy. And he said because he's got his commercial approval there, it was $100, $150. So there's a big difference. So you got to make sure that you're if you're going to get in the junk side, that if you've got a couple of places that you're going to go to, and you've got a couple of places there. I noticed that one place off at 275.
Yeah, it's our big highway here, guys. At least for getting into junk and dump removal, you got to find a dump. No, no pun intended, and get an account there. So when you get the junk and take it over, you don't just get entirely screwed on the price. It's like, hey, I just did this job. I charged them $500, and then they wanted to charge me $500 to remove it. That'd be horrible, wouldn't it?
Yeah, to dump it, $500 to dump it, and so you need to find you've got a couple of places that are fairly close to you, so that's pretty good. I just drove by that one because I had to take my son to the airport the other day, and I saw that one, and that's fairly close to you, I believe. And then you also got that one over in Northville. So
If
mine are not that close.
No, because you were talking about getting into the junk removal biz for kind of the off season, Greg, but haven't you kind of closed that idea down a little bit, or you still slowly kicking it around? You're playing with it like a cat with a mouse.
Well, I just I injured my wrist, and then I hurt my back just recently, and so I think I have to put the kibosh on it for the season just to make sure that I'm recovered properly, because if you don't have a back and you don't have a wrist, you can't, the one thing, if it's not that heavy, but if you still can't grip it properly, then it's a problem. So I've kind of decided that I'm probably not going to do it. So yeah. But I mean, there's other opportunities. We've talked about I've delivered pizza. I paint in the winter as well.
You're actually a decent painter. You tell them all about your, I guess, pretty good painting skills, Greg. I mean, you make me look bad. I'm not patient for painting.
No, you just got to be patient. It's all in your prep work. Just make sure you prep everything well. And but I didn't do much last year painting at all. And so if you can do some painting, if you're a good painter, if you're a decent painter, you can get out and get some jobs. If you want. I've delivered pizza. You can make good money delivering pizza. It's surprising. People don't think you can. You can make really good money delivering pizza. I'm trying to think of some other jobs. One of our good friends, Raleigh Spencer, he's working for a place right now. He's working at an auto dealership. He's in the parts department. I don't know if he's managing that or not, but he's doing the parts department over there.
I don't know if it was managing. He sent me a Facebook message the other day. I think he had something. Oh shoot, what was it? He was going in to get something checked out because he had a lymph node. Anyways, pray for Raleigh. But we're listing off great ideas because you see these guys on these groups are like, I just take a vacation and sit. If I did that, I would go crazy. Okay. I'm the type of guy who can't sit still. If anyone knows me, like Greg, he's always doing stuff though too. He's busy. I also applied for Amazon Flex to drive for them on 4-hour shifts. I'm still waiting to get the approval for that. I've done Uber Eats. I predominantly float towards DoorDash. I almost called him Tony Spencer. Sorry, Tony Rudolph with Tony's Lawn Care Talk. He sells things on Facebook for some extra cash. I know he was kind of doing that. My buddy Luke, so my cousin's husband Luke, he works at full time at Delta Airlines in their warehouse. I think just loading luggage into planes, and he stays here in Metro Detroit, but he drives down there and he works long shifts. But what he does for extra cash is he will sell a ton of things on eBay. Like, we're always trying to at least make some sort of money during this off season and time, because nothing's cheap. So that's another idea where you can find something and flip things on Facebook. I've seen guys do that. I mean, your son, Greg Miles, he's flipping cars and making decent money doing that though too. But he's got the advantage because he lives in Colorado, so he drives them out here where they don't see salt, and he makes a pretty good return on investment on that. So he could also do that. I thought about sending an email blast to my clients, just saying, hey, if you need any like easy handiwork done or things removed, let me know. I am the referral king, and I can refer business to my clients and get some finder's fee payments out of that. There's so many things you could do during the winter. Obviously, we hibernate, Greg, and we settle down, but I can't sit still, so I'm just trying to find at least some good part-time paying work, and it's out there, but you guys just got to look.
Yeah, the junk business as well is another way. That's a way you can flip stuff too, depending on, some people just want to get rid of stuff, and some of it's in decent shape. So you can take it, you charge them to take it away, and then you can then you go ahead and sell it or flip it. I know a guy that he hauled something away for somebody. They called him, asked him if he could pull it. And the guy was doing auto repair on his vehicles for years, never got rid of anything. And so he had his barn full of all these auto parts. And so he called a friend of mine, and he went out and picked it up, charged him $350 to pick it up, and drove it right to the salvage yard, made another $250. So it was a $600 day for him. And it worked out. So those are things that if you have the opportunity that you can do that, if you see something in decent shape, then there's a way for you to do it too. I've actually was looking at possibly trying to go to work at one of the local hospitals here, just to push patients around, take them from one floor to the next or something. You know, if they're in,
it's easy money.
Yeah, I think you have to be. I think you have to be somewhat certified, though, some sort of medical training. And so I'm thinking about that. I was looking at it going, gee, all I'm doing is pushing somebody around. I understand, though, if somebody crashes while you're trying to take them to a room, you need to know. I already know CPR anyway, but you need to know how to do certain things. So, but I was kicking around doing that, whether or not they would even pay that much. And then I would be doing it part-time anyway. I wouldn't want to do it full-time. It would just be kind of a part-time gig for me. 20 hours a week or something maybe. And
it's perfect. It's like ideal.
Yeah, just do that. And then some of the side stuff, if I had some painting, I was going to send a flyer out to my clients as well, finishing the season up. And I finished my last cleanup a couple of days ago, although I've got to go back to do one. And one more time, just to blow it off. She gets leaves from the woods. So I was going to go off and do that one more time. But after technically I'm done. That one might be a half hour to an hour job. And then I'm done with my cleanups. But if I can do that, that might be a way to, then I'm all set. Might help you out a little bit here. Just help you finish up. Yeah, help this upcoming week. But there's different things you can do to try and find ways to make a little bit of money, guys. That's what we try and encourage you to do, is find whatever you can, and if you made good money, if you made pretty good money this year, it's nice, but you want to try and keep that money in there so you don't have to pull from it. So any side stuff you can pick up, even if it's delivering pizzas, if you can make $500 a week delivering pizza, that's a couple $1,000s a month. That's a couple $1,000s less that you have to pull out of your bank account.
That's a perfect wisdom, I guess, bomb and knowledge bomb and truth. 500 delivering pizza. I was making about $500 to $600 a week doing DoorDash. That was close to full time 2 years ago, but DoorDash can drive me crazy. So I'm been trying to find other ways to make money that's not DoorDash. But now that we have a kind of a crappy town and Chrysler van that is high miles and doesn't really look nice, I feel like I'm more privy and I guess levitating to dashing in a car that has miles, because I was dashing in my truck. It's where you see this lawn care truck, Greg, pull up and he's dropping off food. It's like, I don't want to put miles on my truck. I'm really trying to tailor that to only with lawn care. But Greg, yeah, it's a great way to land the plane. The opportunities are out there, guys. Talk to your clients, send emails. DoorDash, you could try Amazon Flex, painting. Get involved with the tree business though too. I'm hoping to maybe get tied in with my buddy who has that. Get a part-time job, as Greg said, at that, what was that, hospital? Or where was that?
Yeah, one of the local hospitals.
Yeah, local
Huron Valley Hospitals over in Commerce here. It's straight down.
Paraproing. There's so many things that we can still do to keep our brains active, because that's just how we, I guess, prolong life though too. I don't get how some of the guys just sit around and do nothing. And guess what? If we're not getting snow, Greg and I could still line up cleanups when both of our cleanups are done. Mine should all be done this upcoming week or the following. Lord willing, no snow. But Greg and I could easily find other random cleanups too if we wanted to. So they're out there. The opportunities are out there to still make money during the winter, because the lawn care business does not stop.
Right. The like I started to say earlier, I was going to send a flyer out to my clients thanking them for the season, and then saying, hey, by the way, in the summer or in the winter, I do paint. I've had a couple of calls from people about doing it, but they never pulled the trigger. And but if I can do it, you can charge $400 a room. And $400 a room. $300 to be fairly inexpensive. You charge $400 with paint. So you just figure, okay, I'll include the paint. Paint's expensive though; it's gotten pretty pricey. And but if if you paint 2 rooms for somebody, there's $800, and 2 rooms take you 2 to 3 days.
And Greg, on that note, I'm done. What else do you got? You want to pray us out?
Yeah, let's go ahead and pray it out, and hopefully everybody's going to have a good week and good things coming up ahead. Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for our day here. I want to thank you for a time for Evan and I to get together. We appreciate and thank you so much for what you've done in our lives, for providing for us and for providing for our other lawn care guys. And I pray that you help everyone find additional work for themselves in the winter, as some of these guys up in the northern areas get their season ends. You pray that you give them other opportunities, if that be your will, that you'll help them find it. I pray that you keep them safe as well in those different opportunities, and also pray that you give them opportunities to be able to share and witness for you. Thank you, Lord, for doing what you've done for us and taking care of us and providing for all the things that you do for us, Lord. Keep everyone healthy and help everyone to enjoy themselves for the preparation for the season here for the birth of your son. Thank you, Lord, again. In Jesus' name, amen.